What you're doing now, I think, is a great service to our country, but ultimately to the world.
Mr. President, oh, thank you so much. You're so big. Your dick is so big, we can barely lift it.
Secretary of State Little Marco Rubio has apparently pried the chainsaw out of Elon Musk's cold dead hand and is using it to run the State Department straight into the ground. Here's some actual footage of his miserable employees.
All right, now everybody, get in crash position.
Because bombshell new reporting reveals that not only are State Department employees miserable under Rubio's Trumpian leadership, they're also furious at some of his insane demands. And not that it would ever happen to anybody in a normal job in this country, but frankly, folks, if someone threatened a literal purge at your place of employment, you'd probably be pissed and miserable too.
That Rick! We gotta kill her! Kill her!
Whoa.
Kill her!
Jeez, Morty, purge it down a little.
Purge! Don't purge! You're sending me mixed messages, Rick!
But apparently mixed messages are the least of people's worries. And I mean, Rubio's been giving us mixed messages ever since he said this.
And I'll admit, the guy, he's taller than me, he's like 6'2", which is why I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2". Have you seen his hands? And you know what they say about men with small hands? You can't trust them. You can't trust them.
Well, turns out the hypocritical face was right. You can't trust them, but you can emulate them to gain power. Because Lil Marco seems now to not only like and emulate Donald Trump, he also thinks quite differently of his Arnold Palmer.
Anyway, but you are beautiful, and you're beautiful inside. So I wish I had more reporters like you.
Rooms filled with real gold cherubs are nothing if those rooms aren't also filled with the echoes of the most embarrassingly sycophantic hosannas. One clip, everybody knows the rules.
Your leadership at the border, absolutely remarkable.
What you're doing now, I think, is a great service to our country, but ultimately to the world.
Mr. President, oh, thank you so much. Your dick is so big. Your dick is so big, we can barely lift it because it's covered in real gold, not the paint.
You see, Rubio has been proposing massive layoffs at the staff department for months, and at the same time, he's also pushing his staffers to work longer hours and push out more propaganda to polish the image of Donald Trump. You know, shit like this, that I shit you not, is from the literal White House Instagram page.
Are you ready? For now, all of today's hottest issues taken care of in one big beautiful bill. Move into a new dimension with the year's biggest topics taken care of. Smash hits from no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, strengthening Social Security, border security, and more. The one big beautiful bill delivers the biggest results you crave, but you must call members of Congress to vote yes today. There's never been one big beautiful bill like this until now.
Or this app's gonna take a bath with a fucking toaster, which oddly enough is similar to how staffers at the State Department feel as well. According to a new report from the Washington Post, the former senator from Florida is facing an internal revolt as morale craters 6 months after the Trump administration took charge. As 3 of the Post reporters have reported, State Department employees have been put on notice that there is going to be a purge once the courts give the go-ahead, which, as we've seen from the Supreme Court, probably is going to happen. And the workforce is, quote, exasperated and embittered at the demands being made of them, knowing many of them are going to be laid off. With a 15% reduction of employees in the works, one staffer told the Post, doing extra shifts while this axe is swinging above our heads is just devastating to morale. The report notes that employees were tasked this week with an action request that they, quote, gather and share images of 4th of July celebrations at embassies and consulates worldwide. Prestige worldwide. The cable asked staff to collect a high-quality set of visuals, including candid shots of attendees enjoying the event and smiling children, families, and diplomats.
Any run-of-the-mill authoritarian can get the praises from those that fear him, the OGs. The real autocrats extract something much, much weirder and humiliating: the forced, uncomfortable laughter.
열정이 있어. 공화국 창건 75전을 앞두고 우리 국가의 위상을 다시금 과시할 수 있게 됐다고.
He had a hat on, and then he puts another hat on, the same hat, but still. That's on the North Korean website, Funny or You Die.
Unfortunately, they can't just borrow North Korea's pictures because all the MAGA idiots would think the pictures are too DEI. But I'm honestly surprised they don't just use AI to generate fake images of this, because the whole thing is already pretty fucking Orwellian. This apparently led another staffer to remark, "To me, the irony of asking for happy photos of smiling children, happy families, and guests celebrating while threatening to fire thousands is peak Trumpism." Noting that the department recently revised rules, quote, governing layoffs, making it easier to fire large swaths of employees. One balking employee warned the Trump administration is, quote, looking to cut a % of overall employees instead of keeping high performers, people with critical language skills, experience abroad, etc. Now I don't pay for the Washington Post because Jeff Bezos, but here's that article if you want to read it. I'll link it down below. But this is just absolute insanity, because not only is he asking them to do more for less and trying to doge the entire US State Department while we're in the midst of almost going to war, Marco Rubio, the Trump has a tiny penis guy, is all doing it in the most Orwellian dictator Trumpian way possible, while not only licking his boss's gonads like his favorite flavor of ice cream.
That could be the end of my political career, but I'll say it anyway. But you are beautiful, and you're beautiful inside. So I wish I had more reporters like you.
I know of no president, probably in our modern history, that's sought peace more than President Trump has.
And being a raging hypocrite, but also having integrity the size of Trump's hands.
Why Marco Rubio is the biggest hypocrite. Marco Rubio says coming to America is not a right, it's a privilege. He's pushed to deport undocumented immigrants and tighten the border. But here's the twist. His own grandfather was once undocumented too. In 1962, Pedro Victor Garcia fled communist Cuba. He arrived in the US with no visa, no legal entry. Immigration ordered him deported. But something happened. The government reversed the decision and let him stay. He lived quietly in Miami, hoping for a better life. In 1967, thanks to the Cuban Adjustment Act, he got his green card. His grandson would grow up to become a US Senator and Secretary of State. So while Marco Rubio calls it a privilege to be in America, his family was granted mercy when they had nothing. What had saved his grandfather? Compassion, not policy. And that's worth remembering.
Fire Marco Rubio, deport him to Cuba, or better yet, send him to the Bermuda Triangle so we don't have to hear from his dumb ass again. If you agree and want to support our fight against fascism, then drop a like, subscribe to the Really American channel, and join our resistance here. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. Thank you guys for being the best fans ever. Peace out.